The Red Wheelbarrow by William Carlos Williams. So much depends upon a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater beside the white chickens. Have you ever seen a red wheelbarrow by white chickens? Well, William Carlos Williams has. His poem, The Red Wheelbarrow, describes being by a red wheelbarrow. His imagery helped me imagine being by a red wheelbarrow. He inspired me to write about ordinary things using imagery. William Carlos Williams was a poet who was born in New Jersey in 1883. He loved being outside and loved playing baseball as a kid. Later on in his life as a teenager, he loved listening to poems at school, and that inspired him to write. He wanted to become a doctor, but he didn't know if he could write and be a doctor at the same time. But he decided to become a doctor, but he never stopped writing. His shop was a medicine shop. After all that writing, he got married to a beautiful woman named Florence Herman. They had 2 boys together. Also, he published his 48th book in 1962. His style of writing poems was shaping words into poems. Sadly, 1 year after he published his 48th book, he died in 1963. William Carlos Williams' poem, The Red Wheelbarrow, described a red wheelbarrow by white chickens. His imagery helped me imagine being by a red wheelbarrow. One example of imagery from his poem is Beside the White Chickens. He inspired me to use imagery from a poem about my favorite old book. He inspired me to write freely. I hope you enjoy my poem as much as you enjoy William Carlos Williams. By Lila Hamilton. So much depends upon an old, lone, blue book covered in dust in a corner on a table. The corner is as dusty as an old house. With dust all around you, you stand alone.
So much depends upon a red and black foot driving crazily down the crooked trails by the green, barky trees.
Have you ever seen a red wheelbarrow glazed in rainwater? William Carlos Williams did. His poem, The Red Wheelbarrow, describes a red wheelbarrow glazed in rainwater by white chickens. He inspired me to write about ordinary things using imagery. William Carlos Williams was a poet who was born in New Jersey. William Carlos Williams loved listening to poems his teacher read to him and his classmates at school. He loved shaping images into poems. He had a lot of imagery in his poems, and he wanted to be a doctor and a poet. So he opened a family medicine shop for families, and he wrote poems at night. William Carlos Williams' poem, The Red Wheelbarrow, describes a red wheelbarrow glazed in rainwater. His imagery helped me imagine a wheelbarrow and rainwater. One example of imagery from his poem was a red wheelbarrow glazed in rainwater. It inspired me to write about me and my friends hunting. My inspired poem. So much depends upon a black stand sitting in the tall trees with me and my best friends so we can shoot a deer, with birds flying around my tree, and that tree that we are sitting in with squirrels fighting crazily so they get a mate. What is that? Deer, but when we got the gun, the deer was sprinting. Boom, 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 boom. We got the deer. Yes!